There and welcome to the Equinox24 video race briefing for 2021. We're doing an optional video race briefing this year to allow for those people who would rather not to gather in large numbers like it is at the in-person event briefing, allow them an option to watch on the video instead. So this year the event briefing at the race is not compulsory. You either have to watch this video briefing or please attend the one at the event. And that will be on Saturday morning at 11:40 at the event HQ trailer, just before you head to the start finish line, ready to start the event at midday. Okay, so firstly, a massive thank you always to our volunteers, sponsors, supporters, and obviously you, the runners, for your support. It's been a tough time to get here. It's been a tricky couple of years in the event industry, and for lots and lots of people, lots and lots of you I know have had a tough couple of years. So we're so grateful to be here. We're so grateful for your support. We really hope that you have an amazing event this year, and let's hope it's the start of an improvement in racing for the next for the future. Okay, so first of all, health and safety and COVID-19. Please do allow some extra space around the site, on the run course and so on. This allows everybody to feel comfortable. So whilst there aren't any particular restrictions in place currently about distancing, we do ask you just to be mindful that there are people that are still choosing to distance. We also ask you at places like race registration and in the shops and so on, where possible, wear a mask if that's if you're able to. We're keeping everything for the registration outside this year, but also you know, just around the site, if you can just be cautious, please. If you are using the on-site facilities, please use hand sanitizer or wash your hands. There are hand sanitizers in each of the toilets, and there are hand wash stations outside. We definitely recommend that you please bring your own hand sanitizer and wipes or anything like that, because it's difficult to predict exactly how much we're going to need. The aim is that we won't run out, but if you've brought your own, then you know you're safe and covered. So the services that we do have on site, we've got 4 toilet blocks located around the camping field, 1 in each of the different coloured areas. And we also have 2 sets of toilets on the course, 1 at Marshall Point 1, which is the crossroads. You'll come to that 3 times on your route, on your lap, and also some at the halfway water point. So all of those facilities are continuously serviced throughout the event. There's a continuous rotation from Saturday morning 6 AM right through to the end of the race on Sunday. Approximately every 2 to 3 hours, the toilets will be serviced, but there are signs on them if you do experience a problem, if there's something missing, something not functioning, or one that hasn't been left in a great state by the previous person. If you could text us on the number that's by the toilets or let us know. Obviously we will do our very best to sort things promptly, but please rest assured it's only going to be a few hours before the next time that they're cleaned and emptied and restocked and serviced. Nobody wants a nasty portaloo, we understand that, and particularly this year. Okay, so we're also asking everybody, so if you are watching this in advance of the race, you may still have time to do this. If it's race day and you're already at Equinox and you're watching this in your tent, then probably not. But we have asked everybody to take a home lateral flow test before they come to the event, within the 48 hours before, to ensure that they've not got COVID-19. And if you do have it, if you develop symptoms at any point over the event, and we all know the symptoms by now, the temperature, the cough, the shortness of breath, the lack of taste, loss of taste or smell, anything like that, please immediately remove yourself from the event as soon as you can. In the interest of safety, the last thing we want is an outbreak. So I know we're all going to work together to make sure that we can be as safe as we can. But if you do have a positive lateral flow test result before the event, please do not attend. Okay, so on to some health and safety points. There's a lake at the bottom of the field, the opposite end of the field to the castle. Please be careful with children and dogs around there. We don't want children down there at all unattended. It is a fishing lake. It is used by members who pay for use of the lake, and we definitely don't want anyone throwing things in or messing about, particularly children, and definitely don't want anyone jumping in to swim. So please do not go by the lake. By all means, have a wander down. It's beautiful in the morning with the mist and the ducks, but please don't be noisy or throwing things in, and please make sure children are supervised. We do have a fire and barbecue policy in place, and it is through everybody following those rules absolutely to the letter that we're able to allow you to have very small and very well contained campfires and barbecues at the event. If it becomes the case that these policies aren't followed, then we will have to stop that practice. But we know it's something that a lot of you appreciate. However, the priority is always our runners. And so within the policy, it does state that if the smoke from your fire is causing a nuisance to people on the run course, then we will ask you to put it out. And we do fire patrols throughout the event. If the policy isn't followed, then we will ask you to put it out. So please do take a look in the race brochure. You can find it on our website, you can find it in our app, and we emailed it to all runners last week. And make sure you're fully briefed about what the fire and barbecue policy is, please. Only people who are registered to run are allowed to run at Equinox24. So you can't join someone else for a lap if you are not entered and eligible to run at that point. We don't allow buddy runners except for extreme reasons or medical reasons, and those will have been pre-arranged by us, and those runners will have a number. So you must not go on the course without a race number and at the appropriate time for your event. So that being said, I know this year there are quite a few of you who have fell in love with our day and night 10K medals and are doing both either the solo or the team 24-hour event plus one or both of the 10Ks. For that lap only, you are eligible to wear both the 10K and your 24-hour race number. The lap will count for both, but you must take the 10K number off after that lap. The exception being team runners. Remember, you must only ever have one team race number on the course at any one time to avoid disqualification. So if more than one team member is entered in to do the 10K as well, you must not wear your team number if you are not the person whose lap is the current lap for your team. That will cause a disqualification, which we definitely don't want. So onto the race itself. The main 24-hour race and the day 10K race is a must start. For solos, all solos should be at the start line for midday. All the day 10K runners and one team member per team. If you want to keep your distance, we are doing a mass start. We're not requiring a specific number. We do ask you to allow space around you, but if you are not comfortable, it is your responsibility to move back and move away. So please, if you're finding yourself that you don't feel comfortable with the people around you, you move back down the group until you're at a point where you can get the distance that you prefer. So please bear that in mind and bear people around you in mind. So it's a 10-kilometre loop. We have measured it, but every year everyone's Garmin measures something slightly differently, but it's 10 kilometres. It's mixed terrain. There is some road running, there is some off-road running, and there is some pretty uneven ground in parts of the course. The parts of the course that are on tarmac, you are very welcome to run on the grass verge by the side of the road, and other than over the bridges and through the cattle grids, there is never a point where you can't run on grass should you prefer. So that is absolutely fine, or if you prefer, you may run on the road. And you will find that the route is signposted, and at night time, although the course is not lit, we do like glow sticks, so you should usually be in sight of the next glow stick, and hopefully by that point you're all fairly familiar with the course as well. Please take caution. There is uneven ground, so especially in the off-road areas, there may be one or two potholes on the estate roads, but generally the roads are pretty even, but you do need to still take care. The roads through the event, through the estate of the castle, it isn't public property, but there are people who live and work on the estate, and so there will be some cars on the roads. We do have signs up, we do ask them to go slowly, but please be cautious. There'll be the small quads that we use to ferry our marshals around or attend to emergencies on the course. So we are trying our best to avoid you and be off-road, but please be wary. And the other vehicles that you may see on course are our first aid vehicles. Occasionally, if there is an emergency, they will move at speed, obviously being cautious of you runners, but please take care. There are some bridges that you cross, so obviously try not to fall in the water. They're not open-sided, but we know you can get tired in a 24-hour event, so take care on those. And there are some cattle grids. There are 2 cattle grids on the course. They will be boarded with fresh new boards, but again, it's worth noting, please take care on those. Just be cautious as you run over them. Obviously, be cautious of other runners and the wildlife. It's a beautiful estate. There is no livestock on the course, but it's not unheard of for there to be deer. There are definitely ducks. There are 2 beautiful birds of prey that we've been watching whilst we've been building the event this week, that like to spy on us from above. So all of these things are to be enjoyed, but also please make sure you're safe. There are 3 marshal points on the course. These are the places where our marshals are stationed, both to help direct you, but also they are a point of contact if you're having any troubles, any difficulties. Whatever you need, speak to one of our on-course marshals. They're fantastic and they will be able to help you with whatever it is you need. If there is a serious problem and it can't wait till you get to a marshal point, so for example, a medical emergency, both either for you or for somebody else, on the back of your race number, there is a mobile phone number. We've also printed this in the race brochure and on the race app. So it's worth plugging that into your phone as the Equinox24 emergency number. And that way, if you need to, if you have a phone with you, which many of you do on the course, then you can call us and we can get help to you. We also recommend that you download the What 3 Words app. It's free and it allows you to pinpoint any point on the planet to a 3-meter square grid. We will be using that to help locate you. So if it's on the campsite or on the course, there's no worry about trying to find you. At halfway, so Marshal Point 3, approximately 5 kilometres, it's just at the top of Not That Hill, and just before that hill, we do have a water point, and we do have a first aid station there as well. Our ambulance is going to be stationed there, both to give first aid at that point, but also for easy access to the course as well. So if you, I don't know, if you stumble and you graze your knee and it's nothing urgent and you need assistance, then that point is where you can find first aid, as well as behind the event HQ, just to the side next to the massage tent, you will find first aid. You can go there at any point as well. And we would advise you to alert the people at first aid before the race of any medical issues that you may have that you think they may need to be aware of, so that if there are any problems with you whilst you're out on the course, that they are fully briefed and informed. Again, please put the details of those on the back of your race number. There's a space for your emergency contact details and everything there. Super. So your race numbers are also, they also have the timing chips on the back, RFID timing chips. So please wear your race number at all times when you're on the course. If you don't, your lap will not be timed and it will not count towards your result. Please wear them on your outer garments, not underneath. So if you are a solo runner, for example, and you are layering up for the night, please remember that your number needs to be out on the front. That's both to help with the timing, it's to help with the photo tagging, but it's also to help with identification if any problems occur on the course as well. And our marshals will be turning back from the course any runners without a number. So you need it on to run. And if you do pass over the mat that's at the finish line, which is under the arch, or the start mat, which is past the transition area, and you don't hear a beep, please go to the timing tent to check that your lap's been registered. So that's obviously if you're finishing a lap, go straight to the timing tent. When you finish your lap, you can check if you need to at the timing tent there. Okay, so the night 10K, that will start at 8 p.m. on Saturday. 24 hours runners, solo runners, team runners, you just carry on. We will, just before 8 o'clock, marshal those 10K runners to one side of the start finish chute and funnel them on, and they will just join in for one lap with you. And that's always great. It adds a bit of energy and a bit of buzz to the course, especially as it's starting to get dark and it's starting to get cooler. The energy of some fresh legs helps sort of buoy everybody up. Team runners. So team runners will get a slap band, an orange slap wristband to use as their relay baton through the race. So that needs to be passed on to the next team runner, ideally in the transition area if you're swapping straight from one lap to the next with a new runner. and there should only ever be one team member on the course at any one time, and that's throughout the full 24 hours. There is no requirement to always have someone on the course, so it's absolutely fine for the whole team to be not running, but never more than one team member on at a time. There are no rules for the order that team members run. There are no set minimum number of laps for every runner. As long as each runner completes at least one lap at any speed, that counts as a team lap. So people can do double laps, they can do triple laps even. There's no need to sign on or off the course. We have a mat at the finish arch to record the end of your lap. And then there is another mat that we call our start mat beyond the transition area. So as long as you always enter and exit the course at the changeover transition area at the appropriate point, you'll never cross the start mat when you've not started a lap, and you will always join and make sure your lap is counted in the right place. So I would suggest, if you're watching this video briefing ahead of the race, you do need to familiarise yourself with that area, see where runners exit, and also see the entrance for runners. Solo runners, please be mindful of that. If you are trying to start a lap, if you're camped in the solo area, you don't want to just join the lap for beyond where the start mat is, because the start of your lap won't be counted, it won't register as a lap. So you do need to make sure that you start your lap by running through the changeover area so that you definitely cross that start mat to be counted. The same thing with coming off the course, you don't need to sign off. However, if you stop a lap partway through, so I don't know, imagine you get to the crossroads, you decide you're too tired and you need a break, and you head back to camp. If you, we will not be aware that you are not continuing that lap, and it may be that we start to notice that a long time has passed since you started your lap, and we send people out looking for you, and that wastes the resources of the event staff that could be keeping their eye on other runners. So if that is the case, please text the emergency number and let us know, or come to Race HQ, or inform a marshal who will radio to HQ, so that we don't start searching for you along the course. Okay, solo runners, there is a table at the end of the start finish barriers at the finish straight. That's our solo, I can't remember the name of it now, the tent where you can store any resources, any food. If you want to be able to continuously do laps and not come off the course, but be able to grab some of your own nutrition or your water or an extra layer, then you can leave that in there. It isn't attended, it isn't marshalled, so things are left at your own risk. And we ask that anyone other than solo runners not to use that. So that is just the solo runners. The head torches that we ask you to wear are compulsory for the nighttime run. So all night 10K runners, you must wear a head torch. They're compulsory from 7, but we suggest from 6 p.m. A lot of you will take at least an hour to do a lap, especially if you've already been doing a few. And you may find that if you start a lap in daylight, by the end of your lap, it could be dark. So from about 6 p.m, we'll be making sure that you're thinking ahead. And from 7, probably 6:30, 6:45 onwards, we will not let you start a lap without a head torch or a hand torch or a chest torch, some way of lighting your way. It is dark, and we do really need to make sure you are safe. Please don't cut any corners, take any shortcuts. There are points of the course where that could happen, but it is very well signposted, and it is very unlikely to happen accidentally. And whilst generally people don't set out to do this, if it happens, it's usually an accident. Please let us know if you do and you hadn't realised. But if you are found to be doing that, it does mean a disqualification. So stick to the routes and do the full 10K laps. The one more lap rule, you will have noticed that one more lap is a bit of an Equinox24 catchphrase. Basically, Johnny will generally be stood at the finish line anytime Saturday morning, just asking you if he looks like you're done. Do you really want to do you want to do one more lap? But the one more lap rule really is, if you cross over the start mat before midday, you are able to complete the lap that you're on. So you cross the start mat at 11:59, then you can complete that lap. And 9 times out of 10, the winners at Equinox have won by doing that, by doing exactly that, managing to get one extra lap in before that midday stop point. But from midday onwards, you are not able to start a new lap. And to get your medal, you can collect your medal at any point during the race when you know you are finished. So if you're definitely done, you can come and collect your medal at Event HQ. Sunday morning, we will be stood there with medals and giving them out to everybody. You need to come with your race number, and then we will give you a medal. We will ask you how many laps you've done, and we will award you your bronze, silver or gold pin if you've done 10, 15 or 20 laps. If we forget to ask you, please do tell us, but that is laps as an individual runner. So as a solo runner, lots of you will do 10 or more, and some pairs runners will get 10 or more in as one person, so not as a group effort. And occasionally someone in a team, if they're doing the bulk of the running, might get 10 or more laps, but it's not the total of your team's laps. So if your team does 25 laps, if no one individual has done 10 or more, then I'm sorry, you don't get the pins. But please make sure you collect one from us. Medals cannot be posted out to you afterwards. It is your responsibility to collect them at the end of the event. Okay. Music and headphones, they're at your own risk. Yes, you are able to wear them. Please be aware of the surroundings. Make sure you can hear the traffic and the cars. Make sure you can hear if there was an emergency and someone had to call to you. There are roads and there is traffic, albeit slow, so it is at your own risk, but it's fine. And photographs, you'll notice our photographers, Glenn and his team around the course from Curly Photography. The link has been provided both in the race brochure and on the app. Free photos, and they are tagged by your race number. So over the course of the event and after the event, they will add those on there. You'll be able to search and download social media sizes for free, or visit Glenn at his stand near the marquee, and he'll be able to sell you other sizes or prints and so on. Live timing link, so that people who are not at the event, if they want to follow your progress, they can, or if you're sat in your tent and you want to have a nosy and see how you're doing in the results and see how your mates are getting on, then the live timing link is in the app. It's on the home screen, just scroll down. It's also been sent out in the race brochure as well. I'm sure if you ask the guys at the timing tent, they'll be able to help you with that as well. Massage will be located next to Event HQ. Massage can seriously transform people's events. A lot of people that think they might need to pull out, go for one, and they've got fresh legs to carry on and get 1 or 2 more laps in. So please make use of them. They are all professionally trained sports massage therapists from SMA. There is a £10 payment for massages, and that's for about 20 minutes. If they're not busy, you might get a little bit more. They've got a heated tent with plenty of couches, so all they ask is that you take clean legs. If you are concerned about carrying cash or a card when you're doing your laps and you think you might want to come for one before heading back to your tent at the end of a lap or few, then you can pre-purchase a massage token at Event HQ and then exchange that for your massage when you're ready for it. So come to Event HQ and we can figure that out. Or if you want to pay card, you can come pay at the thingy at the HQ and then go straight for your massage as well. They may implement a queuing system if there are queues, but we've got massage throughout the event 24 hours, and we think we're well enough staffed so that you shouldn't really have too much queuing. Last thing that's non-run related is the merchandise. So the Equinox24 merchandise, we've got 3 new colour hoodies this year, ranging from size extra small to triple XL. That's the black one if you're interested. There's, as well as that, there's t-shirts, there's our Equinox24 fleece bobble hats. They are in the 2 white tents next to the big main marquee, where t-shirt collection is also. So you can find our merchandise in there. Please, if you haven't done so already, make sure you've thoroughly read the race brochure and the safety guide. You can find them on our website or in the event app. If you haven't got the event app, again, please find that through our website. We will use that to give any important announcements or emergency announcements over the event. And finally, if you're watching this in advance to coming to the event, don't forget your lateral flow test and make sure that you use the site maps and the colour-coded areas if you're looking for friends on site. We close the gate for the campsite at 10 AM Saturday morning, After that point, you can camp in the orange area or park and enter on foot. But if you can use the site map to help locate your friends that are camping there, that will make things much smoother at the entrance gate. Right, we look forward to seeing you all at the event. We hope you're all well. We hope you arrive safely. Wishing you a safe journey. See you soon.